Chapter 61 Chives Need to Stay Lush. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Congratulations, you have triggered a random 100-fold increase, and you have obtained 354 military value. Your army soldiers killed, dead soul, black iron level, and you have obtained 1 military value. Congratulations, you have triggered a random 100-fold increase, and you have obtained 541 military value. Your army soldiers killed, dead soul, black iron level, and you have obtained, another point. In Dong Lei's view, Daphne, the commander of the army, is his follower. They also had intimate actions, and Dong Lei thought that he needed to be responsible. Daphne also had to help him later, and there were many things. And this group of game players were also his army soldiers. Dong Lei must take extra care of them. This is his first batch of forces. He must not let them suffer too much loss, they are also his leaks. They need to be kept lush. It is very good for him. Soon, at the speed of a 9-star Thunder Tiger, Dong Lei arrived outside Fengyang City. At the same time, Daphne led the army and the gamers to fight fiercely in the undead army. The NPC soldiers and the gamers cooperated very well under Daphne's command, madly slaughtering the undead army in the city. The NPC soldiers were calm, but the gamers shouted at each other. Damn, where are your blood? Give it to you. Replenish blood. We will give you 1,000 dragon coins at a time. If you do this, everyone will die. Wow. Why are there so many undead armies? I am so happy to kill them. Ha ha ha. 200% gain for 9 days. So much military value. So much experience value. So much gold. So much. Following the great god Shurfeng, you can not only drink soup, but also eat meat. So delicious. As everyone knows, for Dong Lei, because you are fighting hard to kill the undead army, it is more delicious for him, and it is very enjoyable to cut leeks. Daphne did not join the battlefield, but commanded the NPC soldiers to fight with the players. The main point is that as the players' levels are upgraded, they want to earn a lot of military value and experience in person. How can they bear to let someone with the strength of a legion commander like Daphne go in and sweep and slaughter the undead? Amidst all the big sister-in-law and beautiful words, Daphne sank. The faces of the NPC soldiers all became very strange and complicated. They couldn't imagine that the dignified and cold Daphne had a shy and obedient side to the opinions of the players. Too, they were shocked and astonished. At this time, the equipment of the game players was also getting better. The equipment they had was almost all bronze equipment, compared with the previous tattered black iron equipment. It was a great improvement. This made Dong Lei very pleased that his brothers and sisters had developed very well. These brothers and sisters were trained like this, and Dong Lei could tell them to do a lot of things at that time. Now it was considered to be trained in advance. When Dong Lei appeared riding the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger, Daphne was the first to discover Dong Lei. Her eyes were blurred, and her body was heaving more. Soon, when Dong Lei came to Daphne's side, Daphne was the first to speak. Lord Shurfeng, I was worried about you. I'm so glad you're okay. Hey. I'm such a powerful person. How could I die so quickly? And now I'm even stronger. And Daphne, after this mission, you should hurry up and learn more. Only then can you use the Brahma sword. Knowledge is easy to learn. Dong Lei was posing, saying that he wanted to improve Daphne's equipment, and it would be stronger enough, so that he would feel more at ease about the things he would arrange in the future. Also, Dong Lei suddenly remembered that the Golden Will method was prosperous. He secretly said 3 or 2 words in his heart, too profitable. With just a few simple mantras, you can get a large amount of gold coins or other things. The tutors in the academy are still good. It's too easy and too fast to make money. Well. I will practice well. Daphne answered with a shy look and a mosquito-like voice. In Daphne's opinion, Dong Lei not only cares about her life, but also cares about her studies. Dong Lei is really good to her. Daphne's love for Dong Lei is really too much. The love is boundless, and the game players also saw Dong Lei, and the scene was screaming in excitement and excitement. Brother Shurfeng, you are back. Are you going to pick up girls again? I want to call a few sisters-in-law. Brother. I am so tired of waiting for you. You are finally here. Ugh. Don't disgust me, auntie, hurry up and make up for me. Now, we have the backbone of the Shurfong god, kill. Thank you, Lord Shurfong. Give us a 200% gain for 9 days, and make a lot of money. Ha ha ha. Of course, the gamers also quickly shouted, asking Dong Lei not to kill these undead spirits. Brother Shurfong, please don't kill the undead army. You will kill them all with one attack. The brothers don't even have soup. Yes. Brother Shurfong, you and the commander of the army, Daphne, just command there. We will kill. Don't dirty your bodies. My sister wants to ask Brother Shurfong to show mercy for a bowl of soup and don't kill the spirit army. That's right. That's right. Brother Shurfong, don't bother you, we will kill. Little did he know that Dong Lei didn't want to go out at all. With the chives working hard to cut, how could he bear not to let the chives grow a little more dense? Dong Lei nodded as a response, but didn't go out. The game players present praised and cheered for Dong Lei again. Dong Lei couldn't help shaking his head and sighing. As long as the chives are well grown, there is no need to cut them by himself. At this time, Dong Lei looked far away and found the center of Fengyang City. There is also an altar of the evil saint. Moreover, the dead souls killed by NPC soldiers and game players, the dead souls kept flying towards the evil saint altar. After circling over the evil saint altar for a while, these dead souls entered the evil saint altar. In this situation, the troops of our own camp continued to kill the dead army. It also made the dead souls fly to the evil saint altar continuously. In this way, these leaks, brothers and sisters have to do 2 jobs. As you can imagine, in a regular game, our players still couldn't escape the VR who was really not blind, and 4 people were sent off with red cards. And there was only 1 goalkeeper left on the opposite side of Sakura Country. The other Sakura Country players, I don't know why they were lying on the ground. The expression of this Sakura Country goalkeeper, now thinking about it, is still fresh in my memory. He didn't even guard the goal, and actually ran to the corner kick, trying to climb over the railing to get out. This is a match to impact the World Cup. In the end, we won the game 20-0. Shocked the entire Dragon Country. Shocked the entire world. Post-match media conference. Who said the Sakura Country is strong? It's vulnerable, that I held the microphone and said coldly, and then left the scene. Story, do you like it? If you don't like it, I won't write it later. Chapter 62 Smelling a Fishy Smell. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dong Lei thought that the gamers had a hard time. In order to make his soldiers less tired, Dong Lei rode the Star Thunder Tiger and rushed to the Evil Saint altar. Just when Dong Lei rode the Star Thunder Tiger and reached the Evil Saint altar at the speed of a train, the surroundings shook, which made Dong Lei's eyes focus, and he stopped riding the Star Thunder Tiger. Roar! The Star Thunder Tiger seemed to have discovered something and roared loudly. Then, the undead army behind him felt the voice of the Star Thunder Tiger and turned around to kill. What are you yelling for? I've said it several times, roar. Did you hear it? Dong Lei turned around and saw the undead army rushing over, and slapped the Star Thunder Tiger on the head again. In an instant, the Star Thunder Flame Tiger suddenly became quiet, lowered its head and dared not roar. Its idea was just to remind Dong Lei that something threatening was approaching, just to remind him. However, Dong Lei did not need its reminder, he could feel it himself. So, for the dignified Star Thunder Flame Tiger, it was really too wronged, and Dong Lei sighed. He had no choice but to hold the big mentally retarded staff in his hand and blasted the undead army coming towards him. Under the skill, LV-10 Spell Surge, 8 terrifying magic balls were released, bouncing between the enemies many times, up to 355 times. As a result, the undead army rushing over, with terrible numbers on their heads, fell down and died one after another. The terrifying magic ball almost bounced to the undead army that the game players brushed behind. In this situation, the undead army that came to kill Dong Lei was cleared. Dong Lei sighed secretly. These are all leaks, younger brothers and sisters and his military value. At this moment, the system voice of killing the undead army came to his ears. Congratulations, you killed, undead, black iron level, triggered a random 100-fold increase, and you got 121 military value. Congratulations, you killed, undead, black iron level, triggered a random 100-fold increase, and you got 135 military value. Congratulations, you killed, undead, black iron level, triggered a random 100-fold increase, and you got. In contrast, compared with his own army soldiers, it is still a little worse than several hundred military value. At this time, people in black robes appeared around Dong Lei and kept approaching. As they approached, Dong Lei smelled a smell of rotten fish and shrimp. Dong Lei used his tongue to press against the upper palate and held his breath to relieve the stench. Even his mount, the Star Thunder Flame Tiger, smelled the fishy smell. After retching a few times, he vomited his tongue to relieve the fishy smell. These people wearing black robes could only see their eyes shining with evil light. Other aspects seemed to be too clear, as if they were blocked by their black robes. Damn! You guys eat too much seafood. And you didn't wash your clothes, right? Dong Lei cursed in his heart, quickly opened his panel, and checked the information of these guys wearing black robes. Dead Smelly Black Robe Mage, Epic Elite, Level, 39. Level, Epic Elite.HP, 101W/101W. Physical/magical attack power, 8.35W, 9.34W. Defense, 15752. Skills, Black Arrow, Avicii Hell Flame, Dark Binding, Black Hell Flame, Dead Introduction, one of the most powerful dead mages among the dead, often wandering on the coast of the Shueyu Empire, but after Dong Lei saw the introduction of the dead, he muttered in his heart. No wonder. The smell is so strong, that these dead smelly black robe mages belong to the dead clan, and are relatively powerful, but they met Dong Lei, and there was only one consequence, becoming the contribution of Dong Lei's job transfer task. Dong Lei held the big idiot in one hand and the hex devil gun in the other, and attacked these dead smelly black robe mages, and these dead smelly black robe mages were also not good, so they were attacked by Dong Lei. In an instant, these dead smelly black robe mages also raised their shell-shaped staffs, shining with light, ready to attack Dong Lei. However, these dead smelly black robe mages did not expect it at all. Dong Lei used a skill first. Among the weapons in his hands, 16 identical, LV-10 bandage curse, skills were released. The release of the skill, countless bandages surged out from the center of Dong Lei, entangled all the enemies within a 10-meter range and could not move, including talking. In an instant, the dead smelly black robe mages surrounding them were all imprisoned by bandages, and red numbers appeared on their heads. Boom! 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 -45W, -49W, -47W, -46W. However, due to the undead smelly black-robed mage's blood volume, it is still quite abundant. Under the release of the 16, LV-10 bandage curse, skill, not a single undead smelly black-robed mage died, so, Dong Lei inspected these undead and smelly black-robed mages, and shouted with a sneer. You undead stinking black-robed mages have a lot of health. This is very different from your mage profession. So, I suggest you all go to hell. Dong Lei took action again, using the Hex Devil Spear and the Great Retarded Staff in both hands to attack these immobile undead smelly black-robed mages once again. Boom! 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 -46W, -54W, -49W, -52W. Soon, the health of these undead black-robed mages could still withstand Dong Lei's attack. The standing black-robed mage with the stench of undead became lying down, and the disappearance of the bandage represented their leaving. At the same time, system sounds came from Dong Lei's ears. You successfully killed the necromantic black-robe mage, epic level elite, and gained 121,000 experience points, 1 attribute point, and 30,000 military points. Congratulations, you triggered a random 100-fold increase. You gained 112.3 million experience points, 136 attribute points, and 34,51,000 military points. 3 days later, facing the kangaroo country. This is a tough battle. Kangaroo country is a country with tall people and big horses, so it is easy to deal with. What a great goal. Because we were sent off a small player in the last game, as a result, some people with extraordinary force, some young players who are excellent at defense and offense have no way to play. Fortunately, there are 23 of us young players. Therefore, there was a slight gap in the strength of the substitutes, which made the match that day extremely fierce. I also know that my 3 substitute starting players actually violated the rules of football. Unexpectedly, one with a hammer, and one with a wrench engaged in a defensive confrontation with the kangaroo players. Be careful of the 8 kangaroo players present, causing their heads to bleed in the defensive confrontation. There are also players who have broken their cervical and lumbar vertebrae. Chapter 63 How Kind Her Heart Is. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You have successfully killed Dead Smelly Black Robe Mage, Epic Elite, and obtained 112W experience points, 1 attribute point, and 31W military value. Congratulations, you have triggered the random multiplier, and you have obtained 133.2 million experience points, 121 attribute points, and 36.4 million military value. You have successfully killed Dead Smelly Black Robe Mage, Epic Elite, and obtained. Congratulations, you have plundered all the skills of Dead Smelly Black Robe Mage, Epic Elite, LV1 Black Arrow, LV1 Avicii Hell Flame, LV1 Dark Binding, LV1 Hell Black Flame. Just after Dong Lei killed these Dead Smelly Black Robe Mage, the gamers behind him were stunned again when they saw this scene. Afterwards, the gamers cheered and praised enthusiastically. It's so awesome. Brother Shifeng killed them while standing. None of these undead smelly black robe mages could touch him. Why does it feel like Brother Shifeng's strength has become stronger this time? So scary. Master Shifeng released so many skills at once. I thought I was dreaming. This time, Brother Shifeng killed these undead smelly black robe mages and gave them another we taught a lesson. Brother Shifeng, I love you. After you took off the mask, I knew how handsome you were. I'll say it again, I'm an ant. If you call me ant again, I'll kill you. You are worthy of being Shifeng. I was shocked to see that you killed the necromancer with such a beautiful attack. Gamers were full of yearning and admiration for Dong Lei who killed the necromancer in a few seconds. In their eyes, the terrifying thing about Dong Lei is that he can kill so easily no matter what he encounters. Almost no one was hurt, and they were shocked and admired. After Daphne saw Dong Lei without a mask, her heart beat even faster. Now, looking at Dong Lei's calm and handsome face, she loves Dong Lei even more. After the ant said this, she glanced at the ant, her heart full of possessiveness, although Daphne felt that she could not hold the General of the Killing Peak alone. After all, the General of the Killing Peak was too outstanding. However, she might agree to let the ant hold the General of the Killing Peak. In her opinion, the General of the Killing Peak might choose her. It is conceivable that through the appearance of this girl, her heart is so kind. After being called an ant so many times, she endured and said that she was given to her without a single swear word. She is kind in her heart. It was just right when Dong Lei killed her. All 10 epic elites of the Necromancer Smelly Black Robe Mage were eliminated, and the skills of the Necromancer Smelly Black Robe Mage were also plundered. However, after Dong Lei glanced at these skills of the Necromancer Smelly Black Robe Mage, he immediately lost interest. Compared with his current skills, the skills of the Necromancer Smelly Black Robe Mage are too low level. There is no need to use them at all. Dong Lei put these skills in the skill pile and didn't care about anything else. At this time, Dong Lei's 4th level task has completed Task 1. Please kill epic elite beasts, monsters, messengers, etc. that are lower than your own level. You need to kill 10 epic elite beasts, monsters, messengers, etc. to prove that you are a powerful traditional mage. And Task 2, learn about your own professional knowledge and improve your foreknowledge to advanced level. Long before Dong Lei encountered Ask the Golden Wolf Wang, everything had been completed. Dong Lei was very knowledgeable and had already obtained 1 diamond of knowledge. At this time, fragments of light fell on Dong Lei's body, and Dong Lei's ears heard a series of system voice prompts. You have completed the Traditional Mage Occupation 4 Job Transfer Task, SS. You have obtained 10 attribute points, unlocked the level cap of the 4 job transfers, upper limit, LV49, and unlocked the mage skills. Congratulations, you have triggered a random multiplier and obtained 1342 attribute points. Congratulations, you have triggered a random multiplier, and the costume has a superimposed first level effect, and you have obtained the advanced mage characteristic skill, LV2 Hurricane Calling Wind. Congratulations, you have triggered a random multiplier, and the costume has a superimposed first level effect, and you have obtained the advanced mage characteristic skill, LV2 Heroic Praise. Dong! Boom! Boom! Congratulations, you have upgraded your level. You have reached LV40 and gained 20 attribute points. Congratulations, you have upgraded your level. You have reached LV41 and gained 20 attribute points. Congratulations, you have upgraded your level. You have reached LV42 and gained 20 attribute points. System prompt, your level has reached LV49 and cannot be upgraded. You need to complete the 5th transfer task of the traditional mage profession to unlock the level cap. Due to the billions of experience points stored in the 300 billion experience pool, Dong Lei easily reached LV49. Dong Lei had expected this. Dong Lei got 2 more skills in this job change. They are, LV2 Hurricane Breeze, and LV2 Heroic Praise. When Dong Lei was about to check these 2 skills through the panel, there was another tremor around him. At this time, the Star Thunder Flame Tiger was much more obedient, and it was no longer roaring. It was afraid of being slapped. The Star Thunder Flame Tiger raised its head and turned its head, looking at Dong Lei, through this silent reminder to Dong Lei. Got it. Soon, the smell of rotten fish and shrimp came to Dong Lei's nose again. Dong Lei held his breath again, and the Star Thunder Flame Tiger retched again. Dong Lei didn't need to see it, and he knew that the stinky black robe wizard of the dead spirits was coming again. Dong Lei raised his arms again, and the Hex Devil gun and the big retarded staff attacked simultaneously. The necromancer had just surrounded Dong Lei when he was attacked. Boom! 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 In 5 minutes, Dong Lei cleared several waves of necromancers, and there was no more. Then, Dong Lei opened the panel and looked at the 2 skills he had just received. Instantly, Dong Lei's eyes lit up after taking a look, and he quickly upgraded these 2 skills to level 10 through attribute points. The match between our young players and Kangaroo Country was not only intense but also chaotic. The ball was thrown aside, and there was no kicking. The players from both sides were pushing and cursing. The substitutes from Kangaroo Country rushed up. In order to give our young players who were originally able to play and were more powerful, a chance, I don't know who brought so many hammers, wrenches, and other tools. They were all in the hands of our young players, and then there was a pool of blood. It was like looking at a blood-red sea. In the end, we still won. It was a simple 11-0. The opposing players from Kangaroo Country, including substitutes and coaches, were lying on the ground waiting for stretchers. I still remember that the medical staff at that time kept sighing and shouting. Hurry up and call the medical number, there are enough stretchers. Chapter 64, Smelly Salted Fish. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then, these 2 skills were also updated on the interface. LV10 Hurricane Call, level, 10. Effect, gather a powerful whirlwind, which will increase the magic damage by 2,540% to all enemies on its path after being released, and knock them away. For every second of chanting, up to 3 seconds, the whirlwind can float farther, causing 100,000 to 200,000 points of additional damage, and knocking enemies higher. Every time this skill is activated again, the whirlwind can be released earlier and knocked higher and farther. Cooling time, 20 seconds, blue bar consumption, 230 MP, proficiency, 0/100. Function introduction, advanced mage skill, enemies not only fly higher but also fly farther. LV10 Heroic Praise, level, 10. Effect, Adding nearby friendly heroes and yourself can increase attack power and spell strength by 2450%. Hint: cannot be stacked, cooling time, 20 seconds, blue bar consumption, 230 MP, proficiency, 0 out of 100. Function introduction, advanced mage skill, improves terrible attack power and spell strength. What a pity, if it can be stacked. That would be a god. After seeing these two LV10 skills, Dong Lei's excited expression was revealed, and he was very happy. However, when Dong Lei looked at the prompt information of LV10 heroic praise, he secretly said it was a pity. Without thinking too much, under Dong Lei's attack, Fengyang City was even more broken and almost turned to the ground. In front of him were the corpses of several waves of undead smelly black robe mages, which were even more stinking. Dong Lei endured the unpleasant smell and began to pick up corpses to see if there were any good equipment. Congratulations on triggering the random 100x amplification. You got Wanji Demon Fragment, *195. Congratulations on triggering the random 100x amplification. You got Dead Black Robe, Master Level. Congratulations on triggering the random 100x amplification. You got Gold Coins, *12W. Congratulations on triggering the random 100x amplification. You got Smelly Salted Fish, Legendary Level, *110. Congratulations. Dong Lei looked through the interface package, and in his opinion, it was just a bunch of useless things. Although these equipments are all very good, they are no longer needed for him. The equipment on Dong Lei's body is stronger and better than them. When Dong Lei saw the Smelly Salted Fish, he looked at the information a few more times. Smelly Salted Fish, Legendary, Level, 39. Level, Legendary, Effect. Swallowing this smelly salted fish can quickly stop bleeding from wounds and restore 500 blood points every second. Function introduction, don't underestimate its smelly taste, but it is very useful for external injuries and blood supplements. Such a smelly thing still needs to be swallowed. I'd rather have no blood. I'd rather die. On the spot, Dong Lei threw all the smelly salted fish, Legendary, *11W in the package. Suddenly, the whole venue was full of smelly salted fish, Legendary, making it even more smelly and fishy. It made the Mount 19-star Thunder Flame Tiger retching continuously, and his eyes rolled several times. Dong Lei also held his breath, and the smell of the smell was a bit irritating. Wait, let my little brother and sister go pick it up. They should like to eat this kind of thing. Dong Lei left some attribute points to improve skills, and all other attribute points were added to his intelligence. Suddenly, his basic damage became even more terrifying. Then, Dong Lei opened his taskbar and looked at his 5 job transfer tasks. Traditional Mage Occupation 5 Job Transfer Tasks, SSS. Level, SSS, Task Introduction. The evil camp is constantly attacking the righteous camp, and the righteous strongmen are being eaten away. As a powerful mage, you should choose to dedicate your strength to the righteous camp to resist the invasion of the evil camp. Please go to Dark Cellar, Level 50 area, for training and kill a legendary Vice Master of the Dark Goblin Beast. And it takes 5 days to stay in the Dark Cellar. Task 1, please kill a legendary Vice Master of the Dark Goblin Beast. Only then can you prove that you are a top-level mage. Task 2, learn about your professional knowledge and improve your 8 knowledge to advanced level. Task 3, it takes 5 days to stay in the Dark Cellar. Task time, 5 days. Task rewards, 0.1. 20 attribute points. 2. Unlock level, 3. Unlock mage skills. Dong Lei saw this task, shook his head and sighed. Killing a legendary Vice Master of the Dark Goblin Beast can be killed easily. However, you still need to stay in the Dark Cellar for 5 days. That's very troublesome. After all, there are a lot of strange beasts in the Dark Cellar. When he approaches, these strange beasts will attack him naturally. In addition, there are many strong men from the evil camp who are also training there. If Dong Lei kills a legendary Vice Master of the Dark Goblin Beast, it will cause a noise. If it is heard by other Dark Cellar beasts, they will face a continuous stream of attacks on Dong Lei, or, if it attracts the attention of those evil camp strongmen, they will also be hunted down endlessly by these evil camp strongmen. At that time, there are king-level and quasi-emperor-level strongmen in Bufan, and Dong Lei will be exhausted at that time. Dong Lei still has some self-knowledge. In his current situation, he still has a strong advantage over the strongmen below the quasi-king level. For other game players, they have entered the dark cellar, which is equivalent to death. No need to run for their lives. In addition, they need to explode equipment, but they need 3 pieces. Just now I went back to my novice village or the nearest city. Even at this stage, the various armies of the righteous and evil empires dare not enter the dark cellar at will. You can stop the terrible beasts from rushing into the dark cellar by keeping a watch. Generally speaking, the beasts in the dark cellar will not rush into the dark cellar at will. However, whether it is the righteous camp or the evil righteous camp, entering the dark cellar will be attacked by the beasts. However, Dong Lei has now reached LV49, and is invincible below the king level. Dong Lei went to the dark cellar after forming his own guild. At the post-match press conference, he praised the performance of the young players. When a conflict occurs during a football match, you must protect yourself. We strongly condemn the kangaroo country for physical contact in conflict during the match. It caused so many interruptions throughout the game. What? Hammer? Sickle? Wrench? Who handed it to the young players? They thought it was just a mineral water bottle. Let me reiterate. On the football field, it's not about killing. It's about being affectionate. Chapter 65, It is not appropriate to talk in this situation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Moreover, there are many big rewards in the dark cellar, and Dong Lei will definitely pass by then. However, he doesn't want to stay for so many days. However, these are 5 job transfer tasks, and he has no choice but to complete them. Damn it! If you change jobs 5 times, you'll be SSS level. Will changing jobs 6 times mean you'll be God level? Dong Lei cursed in his heart and didn't want to speak. After all, the current situation is not suitable for talking, and Dong Lei, who can't even breathe, can speak. At this moment, Xing Lei Yen who was retching and started spitting, and his eyes were pitifully white. One can imagine how Smelly the undead black-robed mage and the Smelly salted fish, legendary level, *11 WR, without thinking any more, Dong Lei held the great mental retard staff and the hex devil gun and frantically attacked the altar of the evil saint in front of him. Boom! 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 -5W, -10W, -13W, -24W. The damage continued to rise, causing more and more damage to the evil saint altar. Soon, the altar of the evil saint was destroyed and disappeared in a short period of time by Dong Lei's attack. It's as if there is no altar to the evil saint here. At this time, another extremely angry voice reached Dong Lei's ears. Before, it was a guy wearing a mask, and now here comes you. You are all waiting for the Saint Lonely Sword Demon Ling Hu Tsong. That there was another chill in Dong Lei's back. Lonely Sword Demon Ling Hu Tsong. Don't you know that the guy wearing the mask is also me? If you offend me, you will offend me. When I, Dong Lei, have the strength of a saint, you will also wait for me. I've been scared by you twice, and I won't let you go, huh? After Dong Lei heard it, he screamed in his heart, but he didn't dare to say it out. After all, the current evil Saint Lonely Sword Demon Ling Hu Tsong, Dong Lei is not his opponent yet. Another point is that the current place is not suitable for talking. In the center of Fengyang City, only the undead and smelly black-robed mage and more than 110,000 smelly salted fish were left. The undead army was also eliminated and disappeared with the cooperation of game players and NPC soldiers. In an instant, a large number of game players rushed towards the center of Fengyang City in the direction of Dong Lei, want to quickly pick up the corpse of the undead and smelly black-robed mage. There were still some things that slipped through the net, and Dong Lei didn't clean them all up. He left some things for his little brothers and sisters. Also, there are more than 110,000 smelly salted fish, legendary level. Enough for them to have enough food and clothing. After Dong Lei solved this Fengyang City, he planned to leave here first. He rode the Star Thunder Flame Tiger to Daifunia's side at the speed of a train. When Xing Lei Yen who heard that he was about to leave here, he jumped on his legs so fast, it can no longer bear this place, and it doesn't know how much water to spit out. Lord, General Slaughter Peak, Daphne looked at the excited Xing Lei Yenhu carrying Dong Lei Tu. Her body was a little excited and her face was shy, and she immediately shouted. Will you come with us to Rieso Swamp this time? You lead the army soldiers and my army soldiers to deal with the undead army in Rieso Swamp. I will go back to the city that never sleeps first. Dong Lei didn't want to dwell on it, so he expressed his thoughts directly. Daphne is not a party member. The woman who was already his follower and had even kissed her had the most favorable impression of him. In Dong Lei's view, there should be no high-level undead masters or altars of evil saints in Rieso Swamp. Therefore, Dong Lei thought that it would be enough to let Daphne lead the soldiers to the pass to solve the problem. He couldn't stay here forever, so he and Daphne headed to Rieso Swamp. Guajin in the city that never sleeps doesn't even know if something happened. Dong Lei also didn't want to worry about Guajin Fa's problem, so that this mission could be completed perfectly. That day, before going to the Evernight City and not being ashamed to ask Jinluan Fuwang to improve his advanced level, Dong Lei went to the military headquarters to exchange for advanced knowledge. Guajin was not found inside the military headquarters. As everyone knows, Guajin is also good at cooking. He was eating like crazy with a few beautiful women. After hearing Dong Lei's words, Daphne looked a little reluctant, as she was about to be separated from Dong Lei again. In an instant, something happened that surprised Dong Lei. What he didn't expect was that Daphne took the initiative to run into his arms. Then, regardless of the noise in the world, the two of them ate and ate like crazy. Dong Lei's 10 chopsticks also touched the 2 huge steamed buns. I want to use 10 chopsticks to catch them all. However, the length of the chopsticks cannot cover the entire size of the steamed bun. At this moment, the players couldn't care about the situation of Dong Lei and Daphne. They covered their noses and frantically groped for something on the corpse of the undead. Smelly, black-robed mage, also, quickly pick up more than 110,000 smelly salted fish. This smelly salted fish is so stinky. If it wasn't for the good value in replenishing blood, would have thrown it away on the spot. But this is epic, it tastes so good. There are so many stinky salted fish. It stinks so much. Ugh. This stinky smell is worse than stinky tofu and durian. Ugh. It smells so good. It replenishes 500 blood every second. I will swallow it if I can't eat it. That's right, what's so bad about this? It's a great tonic. Just swallow it and you'll be done. Although gamers don't like it, they still pick it up like crazy. After all, this smelly salted fish is indeed a good thing. Dong Lei also used chopsticks to pick up the steamed buns while eating. The eating and picking were almost the same, so he let go of Daphne. Moreover, he pinched and handed a Thunderflame Tiger Mount egg to Daphne from the package as a reward for her recent hard work. This Thunderflame Tiger Mount egg is for you. You've been working very hard recently. Then please make another hard trip to Rieso Swamp. What's the big problem? Ask the soldiers to report it to me immediately. I will come to help. Daphne, who was considerate, flushed, generous and proactive, jumped back onto her black-scaled horse. During this period, while Daphne jumped over, Dong Lei saw that her legs were set off by the pair of elegant Chiron black silk, master level, he gave her, making them look whiter, tenderer, and more beautiful. Dong Lei had just finished eating and sandwiching steamed buns, and his mouth was a bit dry. He was just busy grabbing steamed buns and forgot about his legs. In the third game, we faced a country that was a swipe my card. Fortunately, it rained a little that day, otherwise, you can see the players who swiped my card, which scared the pants off several of them. As for how to know, there are a few players who swiped my card. They are a bit and their pants are a bit yellow, they don't dare to touch the ball. I don't know why, it seemed like he was afraid of getting hurt or something. On the playing field, bumps and bruises are normal. In this game, I guarantee that our young players did not bring any mineral water bottles or anything like that. Window, _Taboola equals window, _Taboola dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, Taboola, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article. Thumbnail, 300 by 250 foot, target _type, mix. Chapter 66 How did General Killer Peak know our plan? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then, Dong Lei rode the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger and quickly left Fengyang City. At the same time, Dong Lei also opened his own panel, went to the friend interface, and sent a message to Yang Hui. Yang Hui, where are you now? I want to find you. Soon, Yang Hui replied to the message, and Dong Lei clicked it. I'm in Night City. I heard that you formed an army and sent soldiers to clear the undead army. Is it on the way now? If you want, take me with you. Some brothers and I want to join. Dong Lei's eyes lit up. It would be great if Yang Hui was also in Night City. I'm going back to Night City now, wait for me. Dong Lei quickly edited the message and specifically told him to continue replying. You and your brothers, help me go to the military headquarters in Night City and see if Captain Guajin is still in Night City. I want to find him now. I have a lot of military value in terms of rewards, I will give you some later. Dong Lei knew that Yang Hui was short of money and was also a super rich player. Yang Hui quickly replied to the message. My brothers and I will go to the military headquarters in Night City right away. I'm curious, is there anything you need from Captain Guajin? Yang Hui, who was far away at the gate of Night City, and the other 4 brothers in real life, they were all super rich gamers, and the equipment on them had reached the gold level by buying from gamers. At this moment, they also wanted to go to the Rieso swamp to see if there was anything they could pick up, or in their opinion, going to the Rieso swamp was not dangerous. They are all gamers of level 10, wearing gold equipment. Which is very luxurious. However, these super rich players are not the local tyrant players. What are the words like auntie, smile for me, girl, take off your cover, how much money is here, it's yours etc. Those who say this are all local tyrant players. They are all quite gentlemanly and decent in their manners, and will not act recklessly. It also led to Yang Hui in his previous life being able to form a powerful Game Alliance army. Under Yang Hui's call, a group of 5 people quickly rushed to the military headquarters of Night City. It seems that Yang Hui thought Dong Lei was going to tell him the details. He was just curious and asked, if Dong Lei wanted to say it, it was his family's business, and Yang Hui understood this very well. However, what Yang Hui did not expect was that Dong Lei actually replied to the message, which made his face change drastically. Captain Guajin may be assassinated. We must make him leave Yecheng. Hurry up, brothers. Go find Captain Guajin and make him leave Yecheng. Yang Hui shouted quickly to the 4 brothers behind him. Afterwards, a group of 5 rushed to the military headquarters of Yecheng. Yang Hui knew that if Captain Guajin was killed, Yecheng would be peaceful, not to mention that they are still in Yecheng. Even if they are far away from Yecheng, they will probably face people from various evil camps and fight against them. In this case, their equipment will be exposed. Although they are short of money, it does not mean that the equipment on them is so easy to get. Some equipment still cost a lot of money and cannot be obtained. In their view, it is a unique equipment, and the soldiers of the army of Li Macho, under the order of Dong Lei, Li Macho also sent dozens of soldiers to the Night City to tell the situation to the commander Guajin. As a result, these dozens of soldiers were intercepted by 5 black-robed soldiers just when they were about to reach the far place of Night City. As you can imagine, 2 soldiers were left alive. The rest of the soldiers were killed by the other 4 black-robed soldiers except the black-robed soldier who led the soldiers. 1 soldier was held by the black-robed soldiers, and another soldier was strangled by the black-robed soldiers who led the soldiers and asked, "Tell me, are you going to Night City? What are you doing?" The soldier's face was flushed, and red numbers kept appearing on his head, -20, -30, -18, -16. The NCP soldier who was trying hard to keep his breath open, looked very willing for his life, and quickly spoke. "Why did you pinch my neck instead of the other soldiers, and ask me to speak?" "Ah." Instantly, a 3-digit number appeared on the soldier's head, -120, -550, -809, -785. Then, the NPC soldier was strangled to death by the black-robed leader because of his talkativeness. "You answer whatever I ask you. You obviously want to die if you talk so much. Then I'll help you." At this time, the black-robed leader walked over to another NPC soldier and was about to strangle him. The NPC soldier who was held by the black-robed leader looked pale. He didn't want to be strangled to death, so he quickly told them about their situation. We are here to find General Guajin. We want to tell General Guajin that we want him to leave Night City. This order was issued by General Killing Peak, who ordered General Lee Macho to order our soldiers to go to Night City and report to General Guajin. General Killing Peak. Okay, we know, you go die too. That the leading black-robed general still stretched out his hand to pinch the soldier's neck and twisted it, and the NPC soldier died there. Just as the soldier died, the black-robed general who was holding him took the initiative to ask. General, how did this General Killing Peak know our plan? Other black-robed generals also asked. Yes. This situation is very beneficial for us. Originally, we wanted to create some events to lure Guajin out. Now it's difficult. That's right. The leading black-robed general raised his hand to stop the others from talking and spoke. Shut up. Have we intercepted all the soldiers who came here to tell Guajin that they were leaving the city? Maybe, Guajin still knows the specific situation now. According to the news from Night City, Guajin often goes to the white light area of Night City, and cooks with some white light girls to have fun. We are planning to seduce Guajin out, but it seems that we don't have enough time. We can only sneak into Night City, ambush in the white light area, and kill Guajin. Let's go. Enter Night City quickly. Soon, the 5 black-robed men left this place and went to Night City. In a short period of time, the 5 black-robed men were outside Night City and entered Night City by climbing the wall secretly. Moreover, the 5 black-robed men quickly headed for the white light area. Window_Tabula equals window_Tabula_Tabula.push mode, thumbs feed 01. Container, Tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250. Target_type, mix. Chapter 67, Gold equipment is just a pile of garbage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dong Lei received another message from Yang Hui while on his way to the never-sleeping city. He opened the friend message bar on the panel and clicked on Yang Hui's message. Shifeng, it's bad. The military of the never-sleeping city didn't find the commander of the Guajin army. Dong Lei's face changed, and he quickly closed the message panel. He stretched out a hand, patted the head of the Star Thunder Flame Tiger, and shouted loudly. Stupid tiger, hurry up. Hurry up. Let's go to the never-sleeping city. Roar. What's more? The Star Thunder Flame Tiger roared, and ran harder with his limbs, but still rushed to the never-sleeping city at the speed of a high-speed train. Its speed is just like that. Even if the Star Thunder Flame Tiger tries its best, the speed of the Chaos game cannot be accelerated by hitting the tiger's head, and, from the humming sound of the car, it also learned the sound of the car. This surprised and astonished Dong Lei, and he secretly sighed that he was worthy of being the Star Thunder Flame Tiger. Not only did he learn the humming sound of the car, but he also learned the sound of the wheels rolling, which was a bit awesome. After more than 10 minutes, Dong Lei finally arrived at the never-sleeping city. At the gate of the never-sleeping city, there were 5 people standing, namely Yang Hui and his 4 brothers. Dong Lei took the lead in throwing 5 master-level equipment to Yang Hui and his 4 brothers. He gave them 1 master-level equipment each to equip themselves. Amid their delighted and shocked faces, Dong Lei took back his mount, the 1-star Thunder Flame Tiger, and quickly asked. Yang Hui, what's going on? Still haven't found Captain Guajin. That you are not allowed to ride a mount in the never-sleeping city. Unless you are a top-level warrior, you can do so. Dong Lei is now a 9-diamond warrior, and is just a little short of a 1-diamond top-level warrior. By then, there will be no need for such trouble. In an instant, Yang Hui and his 4 brothers all changed their faces and took back their smiles. However, they quickly distributed the 5 master-level equipment and quickly equipped themselves. Then, Yang Hui scratched his head and spoke in detail to Dong Lei. No. We still haven't found Captain Guajin. When you came here, we searched all over the city that never sleeps. Except for the white light area, we went to the place where people were cooking like crazy. We didn't find any trace of Captain Guajin. that the four brothers of Yang Hui behind him nodded one after another, indicating that they really tried their best to find him. This big brother, don't take back the master-level equipment you just gave them. Captain Guojin is the commander of the SSS-level captain mission, but no one knows where he ran away. Suddenly, Dong Lei frowned deeply. Where did this Captain Guojin go? Could it be? Did he really go to the white light area? At this time, the system did not send the news of the death of Captain Guojin. It should be said that Captain Guojin should not have any life problems. However, we still need to find this Captain Guojin quickly. Another point, didn't he ask Li Macho and Zhou Batong to command some soldiers to report to Guojin, the commander of the army? What is the situation? Why is Guojin not in the military headquarters? Now, I don't know where he has gone. Do you really not care about your own life? Or are you too arrogant? I'll go to the white light area of the city of Never Sleeping to take a look. You can go to various places in the city of Never Sleeping to look for him. Send me a message when you find Guojin. Then, Dong Lei added Yang Hui's other four brothers as friends and quickly went to the white light area. As soon as Yang Hui's four brothers heard about adding friends, they quickly rushed to add Dong Lei as a friend. In their opinion, they felt that they were already rich in the game. Now, I realize that my roots are nothing, and the gold equipment is just a bunch of garbage. Yang Hui, your brother is a real rich player. So scary. That's right. Since I saw your brother, the first thing he did was to throw us a master-level equipment. He is so rich. We claim that we can buy everything, but look at you. Master-level equipment is just thrown away. I have to pick it up and equip it like crazy. However, the name of this friend seems very familiar. Have you all forgotten to look at the friend's name? I seem to have heard and seen Shifeng somewhere. Shifeng. Player Shifeng. Isn't this often mentioned in the world announcement? That's right. That's right. Yang Hui, you have met a great player. Shifeng is actually your brother. It's so awesome. I even added him as a friend, ha 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 ha. Then, the four brothers praised and worshipped Yang Hui. They all entered the chaos game together. Yang Hui of the family had already established many contacts with Shifeng. He also asked Yang Hui to find where the leader of the Guojin army had gone. However, can the identity of the commander of the family Guojin be controlled by the soldiers who have just entered the Fenglai Empire? However, Yang Hui. Can we control the commander of the family Guojin? That's right. Commander Guojin can crush us to death with one hand. We shout at him and tell him not to go to the Never Sleeping City. Will he listen to us? Yes. What should we do if Commander Guojin kills us with his own hands? Then, the four brothers asked very practically. They didn't want to offend an NPC commander and lose their soldier status, and they didn't know Guojin's true identity, but he was the crown prince of the Fenglai Empire. In the capital of the Fenglai Empire, Guojin has mastered various knowledge since he was a child and read a lot of books. But he knows nothing about the Baidang area. That's why he has been cooking in the Baidang area like learning. If they knew that Guojin was the crown prince, they might not dare to look for the commander of the army Guojin. Yang Hui was praised by his brothers, and he was very happy. He understood their thoughts, but they all took Dong Lei's master-level equipment, and each of them got one, and they said quickly. Let's go. Let's go again. If we find the commander of the army Guojin, we just need to tell Shifeng. And Shifeng said. Just tell the commander of the army Guojin that it was Shifeng who said it. Other things, we don't dare to control it. As for this commander of the army Guojin, it is impossible for him to kill us at will after we reveal our identities. Chapter 68 I said I came to see you, do you believe me? You are listening at novelfull.audio. This is not in line with the status of the Legion leader. Let's go. You are short-handed. If it were other game players, they would have found a piece of silver equipment in the never-sleeping city. Hurry up and help Brother Shifeng to find the trace of the missing Legion leader Guojin. After hearing Yang Hui's words, the other players nodded one after another, indicating that they understood. Then, a group of 5 people went to various places in the never-sleeping city to look for the figure of Legion leader Guojin. Dong Lei walked alone into the white light area. The white light area of the never-sleeping city was the most popular area. Now, since the undead army heard that they were going to attack, the entrance hall has gone from being crowded with people to being deserted. Many NPC game players quickly fled to the heart of the Wind and Thunder Empire. Now, there are still a few shops open, and they are still operating to satisfy customers' desire to cook. Dong Lei in his previous life still remembers that after the strong men of the Feng Lei Empire defeated the army of the dead, this city that never sleeps was revived and became very popular. After all, in the game Chaos, there are not many places where gamers can find a happy place to try something new. You can feel the pleasure in the game and taste the difference between cooking here and the real world outside. For NPCs, this is the place they dream of coming to. As long as they have money, they want to come here to cook. When Dong Lei passed by the white light waitresses in these shops, they saw Dong Lei and shouted with their flowers. "Sir, would you like to eat the steamed buns we have here? What's so delicious about the buns? Please come this way. We have ingredients as big as durian here. You can cook rice and dishes with them. TSK. Sir, you look so handsome. It's cheaper to cook rice and dishes with us. Come on. Let me show you what special ingredients we have in our store first. You can consider whether you want to cook rice and dishes." The female owners of the store were also wearing heavy makeup, trying to pull Dong Lei into the store, so that he could choose ingredients and cook rice and dishes. Dong Lei almost walked in several times, but he still resisted his desire and pushed away these female owners. Then, he concentrated on looking for the trace of Captain Guo Jinjun alone. However, Dong Lei found that if he didn't walk into these stores, how could he know whether Captain Guo Jinjun was in them? If it were Captain Guo Jin, he would not just stand at the door and watch in this white light area. Thinking of this, Dong Lei's appetite suddenly increased. Moreover, Dong Lei rubbed his hands and smiled, as if he was very excited and happy. In the reality outside, although Dong Lei is a standard second-generation rich, however, under the jurisdiction of his family, he has always restrained his thoughts. Every time he wants to cook, he will study obediently to improve his grades. Therefore, Dong Lei in 2 lives has not yet tried the joy of cooking, and knows nothing about kitchen things. Today, Dong Lei has planned to try it in the game first. What is this taste? Thinking of this, Dong Lei found a large store and wanted to walk in openly. After all, Dong Lei was very rich in gold coins, so he didn't care about that. The main issue was the ingredients. The variety and characteristics of the ingredients in the big store would definitely make a perfect meal. This store was called Happy Restaurant. Dong Lei thought the name was pretty good, so he headed towards the Happy Restaurant. The owner of the Happy Restaurant also saw Dong Lei coming, and all kinds of welcoming voices came one after another. "Welcome, welcome. Warm welcome. Sir, we have a lot of different dishes here, for you to choose from." At this moment, Dong Lei's face was also full of joy and excitement. Dong Lei wanted to taste the characteristics of this restaurant first before asking about the captain of the Guo Jin army. As a result, as soon as Dong Lei stepped into the door of the Happy Restaurant, he looked up and saw a familiar figure. At this time, Commander Guo Jinjun walked out of the store with a red head, a smiling face, and a weak leg. Behind him were several beautiful waitresses holding handkerchiefs, winking at Commander Guo Jinjun and shouting loudly, "Master, please come more often in the future. You are still awesome at cooking." "Yes. After you leave this time, I don't know how many days it will take to see you again. I have been addicted to your cooking these few days. When it comes to cooking, you are still awesome. In the dark, I didn't expect your cooking skills to be so shocking." At this moment, Commander Guo Jinjun, who was originally smiling, met Dong Lei's eyes and his face instantly withdrew his smile. Suddenly, the two stood there and paused for several seconds. Later, Dong Lei looked slightly embarrassed and said with a smile to Commander Guo Jin, "I said I came here to find you, do you believe it?" "Well." Commander Guo Jin was stunned for a moment and didn't know how to answer. "Ask yourself in this place, you said you came here to find me, General Slaughter Peak. If it were you, General Slaughter Peak, would you believe it? What kind of area is this place? Don't you know, General Slaughter Peak?" "Ah. Do you know each other? Are you a regular customer? Did you introduce me here?" "Hello, Sir. Not only have I stayed here for so long, but I also called my brothers to come over. There will be a big discount next time. Young guest, please rest assured. We are honest in our happy restaurant, and the price is easily negotiable. At this time, the owner of Xingfu restaurant came over and mistakenly thought that Dong Lei and Guojin were regular customers, so he hurriedly welcomed him and shouted loudly. Army Commander Dong Lei and Guojin smiled awkwardly again, not knowing how to answer. Suddenly, 5 figures jumped down from the walls on both sides of the entrance to the Happy Inn, and quickly surrounded Commander Dong Lei and Guojin. The leader in black robe raised his head, laughed heartily, and then looked directly at Army Commander Guojin. Captain Guojin, I finally found you. Did you have a lot of fun in the white light area? That the other men in black robes around him, holding weapons in their hands, also laughed and mocked. Guojin, today next year will be your death anniversary. That's right. Today, Guojin, you can't escape from our grasp. At this time, Guojin, you should not respond, the earth is not working. Chapter 69 Boy, who are you? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Commander Guojin looked indifferent and said to Dong Lei in front of him. Sir, this way of looking for me makes me feel like you are really looking for me. Dong Lei shook his head helplessly, saying that Commander Guojin probably didn't believe him and came to find him. However, those who simply want to cook like crazy in this happy little restaurant are really incapable of making excuses. Ah. 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 There is a killer. Help. We're going to kill someone. Run away, sisters. The waitresses and bosses in Xingfu Bistro screamed and ran into the bistro quickly. Sir. Xiaoyu, who are you? The leader, the man in black robe, was not willing to pay attention to the waiters in the white-lit area, so they ran towards the small restaurant and entered. As for, when they heard Captain Guojin actually say the word to the handsome young man in front of them, the 5 of them were quite surprised and shocked. This young boy is actually the commander of the Guojin army. It is conceivable that the commander in charge of clearing the undead army this time is the commander of the Guojin army in front of him. Dong Lei didn't have much free time, so he started talking to them. He first opened the panel and checked the information of these 5 people. Evil Messenger Romance Det Si Duanjing Chun, Master Elite, Level, 49. Level, Master Elite, Blood Volume, 120W/120W. Physical Attack Power/Magic Attack Power, 15.34W, 18.58W. Defense, 54621. Skills, Duan Family Swordsmanship, Wulua Light Smoke Technique, Finger Flick Magic, Orchid Acupoint Technique, Messenger Introduction, Evil Camp Leader, one of the powerful subordinates of the Lonely Sword Demon Linghu Tsong. Evil Messenger Qin Yagao Hua Nan Shi Tai, Master Elite, Level, 45. Level, Master Elite, Blood Volume, 100W/100W. Physical Attack Power/Magic Attack Power, 10.11W, 11.23W. Defense, 45221. Skills, Double Spear Technique, Golden Snake Spear Technique, Slender Bamboo Technique, Spitting Chanting Like Pearls. Introduction of the Messenger, one of the subordinates of Lonely Sword Demon Linghu Tsong, a relatively beautiful girl in the evil camp. Evil Messenger Shou and Tianxi Hongantong, Master Elite, Level, 45. Level, Master Elite, Blood Volume, 80W/80W. Physical Attack Power/Magic Attack Power, 8W, 11W. Defense, 32155. Skills, Dragon Mind Technique, Bone Transformation Power, Kongming Fist Technique, Bitter Sea of Power. Introduction of the Messenger, one of the subordinates of Lonely Sword Demon Linghu Tsong, possessing powerful strength. The Evil Messenger, the Unforgivable Blood Knife Old Man, Master Elite, Level, 43. Level, Master Elite, Blood Volume, 80W/80W. Physical Attack Power/Magic Attack Power, 8W, 11W. Defense, 32155. Skills, Blood Knife Technique, Bloodthirsty Mad Technique, Blood Sea Magic, Hua Fuhu Fist. Introduction of the Messenger, one of the subordinates of Lonely Sword Demon Linghu Tsong, with excellent swordsmanship and powerful strength. Evil Messenger Ouyang Ku, Master Elite, Level, 40. Level, Master Elite, Blood Volume, 80W/80W. Physical Attack Power / Magic Attack Power, 8W, 11W. Defense, 32155. Skills, Toad Magic, Spirit Snake Magic Circle, Saint Snow Palm, Crane Magic, Introduction of the Messenger, one of the subordinates of Lonely Sword Demon Ling Hu Tsong, the private man of the Evil Strong. Ouyang Feng. Who am I? Do I want to tell you? Dong Lei turned around, inspected the 5 men in black robes surrounding him, and then continued. Do you want to know? I won't tell you. Ha ha ha. Lord Slaughter Peak Warlord. They still want to know your name. Commander Guojin behind him laughed and said after hearing Dong Lei's ridicule, then, the 5 men in black robes present all had colons on their foreheads, and they didn't know what to say. In their opinion, Commander Guojin is afraid of being stupid, right? Tell them Dong Lei's name directly. Dong Lei turned around, glanced at Army Commander Guojin, and shook his head helplessly, not knowing whether it was right to save him. Humph. Guojin, you will definitely die today. Here, we can let you go, but you can leave first. Duanjing Chun, the leader of the romantic debts, looked at Dong Lei coldly and suddenly said, he did not intend to conflict with Dong Lei, but his current idea was to kill the commander of the Guojin army. Moreover, the position of Lord Warlord should be quite strong in terms of strength, not so easy to deal with. Also, if the romantic debt species Duanjing Chun knew that Dong Lei had destroyed the evil saint altar of their master Lonely Sword Demon Ling Hu Kong, then, the 5 of them would also want to kill Dong Lei on the spot. That's right. Little, let's let you go, get out of here. Well. The one we want to kill is Guojin. What is your relationship with him? That's it for today. You don't want to tell us, but this stupid Guojin has already told you, get out. War General. That's a high position, right? If you don't get out, I'll turn you into a war dog today. The other 4 people, the elegant and noble Nan Si Tai, Shou Yushianki Hong Antong, the evil old man with the blood knife, and the handsome O Yanka, also shouted at Dong Lei. General Shifeng. You have to protect me. Leader Guojin moved a few steps, stood close behind Dong Lei, and said tremblingly. Without you, I can't do it. Guojin knew the strength of these 5 black-robed men, and it shouldn't be that simple. Moreover, they came here specifically to kill him, so they were not so easy to deal with. Now, with the help of General Shifeng, he still believed that he could deal with them. Guojin, I told you I came to find you, don't you believe me now? I came here to save you. Dong Lei turned around, patted Guojin's shoulder, and said earnestly. Believe it. Believe it. Leader Guojin nodded and bowed, nodded vigorously, and laughed. Stinky little bastard. No matter what position you hold, if you don't leave, you'll die. Instantly, Duanjing Chuan's face changed and he shouted angrily. Do it. Instantly, 5 black-robed men, Duanjing Chun, the elegant and noble Nan Si Tai, Shou Yushianki Hong Antong, the evil old man with the blood knife, and the handsome O Yanka all raised their weapons and attacked Dong Lei and Legion Commander Guojin. However, the mentally retarded man in Dong Lei's hand had taken the lead and released 8 terrible rays of light. These 8, LV-10 hurricane calling wind, were released and attacked the 5 black-robed men who were rushing over from Dong Lei's center position. Except for the direction of the commander Guojin, 8 powerful whirlwinds gathered and blasted out. It made it impossible for the 5 black-robed men including Duanjing Chun to get close to Dong Lei and the commander Guojin. Moreover, these 8 whirlwinds directly blew up the roof, and the tiles flew everywhere, which was very conspicuous in the city that never sleeps. Duanjing Chun, Qinya Gaohua, Nan Si Tai and other 5 black-robed men were blown away by these 8 whirlwinds. Chapter 70. You are too strong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 5 black-robed men flew up into the sky, and flew farther and farther before falling heavily to the ground, and, on their heads, terrifying numbers appeared. Boom! 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 -61W, -60W, 63W, 59W, 62W. General Shurfeng, you are too strong, aren't you? Leader Guojin held his weapon in one hand and covered his mouth with the other, his face full of dull expressions. After looking at the 5 black-robed men flying out, he continued to look confused, and couldn't believe the scene in front of him. It's simple. Dong Lei shook the big idiot staff in his hand and said lightly, at this time, the 5 black-robed men, Duanjing Chun, the elegant Gaohua Jonan Sitai, Shou Yushianki Hongantong, the evil old man with the blood knife, and the handsome O Yanka, fell to the ground. They stood up one after another, screaming and shouting, and rushed towards Dong Lei and Guojin again. Stinky boy, what secret method do you have? I will definitely kill you tomorrow. I didn't expect that you would come up with this trick, die. Today, you and Guojin will both die under our swords. You are wrong. Boy, tomorrow, you will be the one and I will not be the one. As the 5 black-robed men came to kill, Dong Lei shook his head and sighed. Hey! You all want to die so badly. Then I will grant your wish. I will be the only one alive today, and you, all have to go. Die. Dong Lei took out the Hex Devil gun in his other hand, and both weapons released strong and dazzling light at the same time. Then, under the cooling effect of the great retarded staff, 16 rays of light were blasted out, together with the 8 rays of light from the Hex Devil gun. A total of 24 rays of light attacked the 5 black-robed men. Swish! 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 At this time, the 5 people, Duanjing Chun, Chinya Gaohua Jonan Sitai, Shou Yushianki Hongantong, Shiba Xiaxuedo Old Man, and Handsome Liang, also wanted to use their skills to attack Dong Lei. Suddenly, the 5 of them found that their skills were silenced. Moreover, they also found that their speed had slowed down a lot. Suddenly, the faces of the 5 people, Duanjing Chun, Chinya Gaohua Jonan Sitai, Shou Yushianki Hongantong, Shiba Xiaxuedo Old Man, and Handsome Liang, changed drastically, and they all knew what to do at once, but they still ran towards Dong Lei and Guojin. Even if there are no skills and moves, there are still ordinary attack damage situations. As long as the silence is over, the skills can still be used, that's right. Dong Lei's passive skill, LV10 Fatal Silence, passive, as long as the ordinary attack or skill attacks the enemy, it can silence the enemy for 120 seconds and slow down the movement speed by 5%, therefore, the 5 people including Duanjing Chun, Chinya, Gaohua, Jonan, and Shurtai appeared in such a state, and they could not use their tricks. When Duanjing Chun, Chinya, Gaohua, Jonan, and Shurtai were shocked, they looked up and found 24 rays of light attacking them because they were close to Dong Lei and Guojin. What's more, Duanjing Chun, Chinya, Gaohua, Jonan, and Shurtai's faces turned pale from shock, and they stopped immediately. What is this? Ah! Is this true? Wow! Damn! What is this? It's over, we're done. Ah! This person is really powerful. Too scary. How can Guojin kill him? In front of them, every ray of light was very bright. The sword light attacked them, and they were already slowed down, and the sharpness and terrible speed of the sword light made them, Duanjing Chun, Chinya Gaohua, Jonan Sitai and other 5 people, have no time to react. Boom! 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 -86W, -90W, -87W. -85W. This time, Dong Lei used the skill to snatch the skill from the evil messenger Zui Hundaming Wachendachang. At present, the skill with the greatest damage is, LV10 Deadly Sword skill, and the subsequent evil saint skills are not as strong as this skill. After all, the effect of this, LV10 Deadly Sword skill, can release a strong sword light, which can increase the damage of the enemy by 10%. In an instant, the 5 people including Duanjing Chun, Chinya Gaohua, Jonan Sitai, etc. fell to the ground and died without any signs of movement. This, wow, ah. Guojin showed an unbelievable look on his face, pointing at Duanjing Chun, Chinya Gaohua, Jonan Sitai, etc. in the distance, and then pointing at Dong Lei, speaking stutteringly. Gua Jin couldn't imagine the scene just now at the beginning. Dong Lei could directly summon 8 whirlwinds to attack the 5 black-robed people. Now, you can actually use weapons with both hands. And, it can also send out 24 moves. Too scary. Gua Jin once thought he was dreaming. He had never seen such a terrifying side, and he saw 2 of them in one day. Then, Gua Jin rubbed his eyes frantically and patted his thighs. Finally, he proved that he was not dreaming. General Shifeng, I admire you very much. I admire you very much. The stuttering commander Gua Jin praised Dong Lei. Dong Lei was not willing to take care of Gua Jin, so he rushed towards the 5 black-robed men. At this moment, a series of system voices came out beside Dong Lei's ears. You succeeded in killing evil messenger Feng Liuzuan Zhong Duanjing Chun, Master Elite, and you gained 201 W experience points, 5 attribute points, and 15 W military value. Congratulations on triggering the random 100-fold increase. You gained 133.5 million experience points, 520 attribute points, and 1565 W military value. You succeeded in killing evil messenger chasing souls and taking life Wuchen thief, Master Elite. You get 180 W experience points, 3 attribute points, and 13 W military value. Congratulations on triggering the random 100-fold increase. You get 115.2 million experience points, 321 attribute points, and 1388 W military value. You successfully killed evil messenger soul chaser Wuchen thief, Master Elite. You get 175 W experience points, 3 attribute points, and 12 W military value. Congratulations on triggering the random 100-fold increase. You get 113.2 million experience points, 322 attribute points, 1231 W military value. You succeeded in killing evil messenger soul chaser Wuchen thief, Master Elite. You get. Congratulations, the talent skill is triggered and the random 100-fold increase is triggered. You get evil messenger Feng Lu Det Duanjing Chun, Master Elite. All skills: Duan family swordsmanship, 5 Luo light smoke method, finger flicking magic method, orchid point method. Congratulations, the talent skill is triggered and the random 100-fold increase is triggered. You get evil messenger Qinya Gaohua Junan Sitai, Master Elite. All skills: dual gun method, golden snake gun method, slender bamboo method, spitting like pearls.